Have you ever wondered how we can find signs of God in life's darkest moments? Or marveled at a family's ability not just to survive, but to thrive after facing unimaginable tragedy? These questions are at the forefront of our minds when we meet such a family. So settle in and prepare for an emotional, inspiring, and life-altering experience. We're about to dive into the pages of the Levitt family's extraordinary story, a tale that proves the resilience of the human spirit and the unwavering strength of faith. Introducing Jenny and Caleb, who will be your guides on this remarkable journey. They'll share a story that challenges conventions and inspires all who hear it.
So then we work through and kind of back to the holidays, because there's Easter in there and stuff too. But our family, especially then, because we owned a piece of property out in the country, that we had a good sized piece of property where we could do bonfires and stuff. And our family was one of the ones that, like, every holiday we had lots of people over and would do a big potluck and bonfires and football in the field next door and games in the yard, and we had a pool. So if it was nice and not, well, some of you that are not in Florida may think that we don't get any cold weather, but we do. We can.
Occasionally.
We can get some cold weather where you want a cup of hot chocolate around the bonfire. But all that changed, and it was so hard because people that were used to us doing that and would make comments like, "Are you guys going to do that?"
Yeah. Well, so for Thanksgiving that year, I think somebody asked us.
Yeah,
we're going to do something.
More than
and
one person did.
I mean, we were barely 3 months out, and plus Jacob's birthday, I think it was either on Thanksgiving or the day after that year. Remember, I said, once again, my filter was pretty much gone at that point. So I said something pretty offhand to somebody about it, and to basically think about others, and life is not about you, so grow up. That was my basic gist towards them, and that offended them pretty bad, but yeah, it's just, I think that just comes around to the fact that whenever you're grieving, not everybody is, because they didn't, whoever you lost isn't to them what they were to you. So to you, you're still learning how to deal with all of these firsts without them. Whereas to them, they've already moved on because life moves on. And so that's just a part of it. So give grace as you would like to receive it. That's a major lesson that I learned in there.
So what about somebody, because I've had a couple people that I can think of ask me a question kind of along these lines, that they have a friend who has lost someone very dear. Maybe it's a brother or a sister or a child, because I've had both scenarios. And they've asked me, like, I'm not the one who's grieving though. What should I do or what should I not do? So you just mentioned probably not ask the family, are you going to host Thanksgiving 3 months after they have a major trauma? So that's probably definitely a thing not to do. But what can you think of some things, maybe somebody who's watching who wants some tips on, like, how can you actually help somebody who's grieving? Like, I would personally say, especially early on, if you're not sure if you should say that, probably don't say it. Just sit with them. Just be with them.
Well, and they aren't looking to you for the answers anyway.
And they probably won't remember it, because there's so much fog and so much, unless it's something that they're going to remember because they remember it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and so they don't want you to have all the answers, so don't act like you do, because that's more annoying than anything. Is whenever you have somebody who's never gone through something, trying to give you pointers on how to live life after what you've gone through. But just being there, being present, listening, and just checking in. And so you may ask them 25 times, do you need anything? No. But then on that 26th time, yes, I need this.
And I feel like there are times that they would say, do you need anything? And my mind was so scattered, so on, that in the back of my mind I'd be like, I feel like I need something, but I don't know what. So I think one thing that might be more appropriate or a better way to ask it is, like, let's just use this as an example. Hey, can I come over and mow your grass on Saturday? Like, think of something more narrow.
Or if you just see a need.
Yeah.
So if their grass is getting long, or if you walk over and somebody who is normally tidy, their house is a mess.
Yeah.
Just...
Hey, can I come clean your house, help clean your house this weekend? Or, like, make a more solid question than just, do you need anything? Because there's so much, like,
True.
I don't know.
Well, you can also say, if you need anything, let me know.
Yeah.
If once I leave, you're like, oh man, I really wanted this, but I just forgot about it.
Yeah.
Let me know.
Yeah.
text me, call me, and I'll be there. I'll get it for you, and then be actually available for them. Because, and it's just a fact of life. Sometimes you offer and the other things come up, and the person grieving in the moment may view you a certain way, or like, oh yeah, they said this, but once they kind of work through that grief, like they'll get it. Like, it's life. And also don't take everything that they're saying as serious. Sometimes people lash out there in grief. Sometimes they don't know how to communicate what they're feeling. So don't let that run you off. My best friends, I would rake them over the coals sometimes with my words, but they were still there. So, and whenever I really needed somebody, they were there. After I had just said some really nasty things to them, the day before or whatever it was. Aaron's there, Rick's, and so they're there, and so sometimes I apologize, sometimes I didn't, So whether or not that's right or not, just be there for them, no matter what they say, because they do need you, and if you're really their friend, then you would be.
I know one of the things that I've heard your dad say before is that since the accident, he will never tell somebody now, I know what you're going through.
Yeah.
I know what that feels like. He said, I will never say that again because I don't know. Unless you have gone through exactly the same situation, you don't know. You may have an idea. And even people that we know that have lost a child, it's different. Their relationship with their child was different. Their way their child died was different. How old their child was. Like, there's so many things that are different. So we do know the pain of losing a child. We do have some things in common. And I feel like it'd be the same with siblings. If you lose a sibling, you'll know the pain that somebody else who's lost a sibling, but maybe that person didn't have a close relationship like you and Jacob did. Maybe it was strained,
True.
And so maybe they've got guilt, but it's a totally different beast because they have guilt because they have unresolved issues that now they don't have that opportunity. Like, there's so many different variables that I would say what you just said, to just be gracious, and remember that everybody's loss is so different. So, all right, so we're going to wrap this one up here, and then I think with the next one we'll kind of fast forward a little bit, and we can talk about the second question I'm asked most often. First question I'm asked most often is, how is Caleb doing today? Second one is, how did you guys process it? And we're going to kind of tie those two together in the next video. So that's it for now.
Thank you for joining us today on this incredible journey with Jenny and Caleb. Discover how Caleb overcame his challenges with God's help. Stay tuned for our next episode. Subscribe now so you don't miss it. We'll continue exploring the power of faith and resilience.